Hi people, it's me, Anja. My pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for my almost favorites of 2022. I feel like the title of this video is very self-explanatory, and I teased pretty much the majority of these books in my most anticipated 2023 new releases video, so without any further ado, my first almost favorite of 2022 is called The Weeping Tide. For those who don't know, this is the second book in a middle grade fantasy series starring a bisexual main character who, in the first books, accidentally bonds with a magical animal and must go on a journey to figure out why. This story is absolutely so fantastic and so well done, and this sequel was so good. I loved the world building so much. I love the plot, I love the characters, I love the friendships, I love it all so much. Literally, Amanda Foody is a genius. I love every single thing that she has ever written. Actually, that's not quite true. I didn't love the series, the duology that she wrote with Kristen Lynn Herman, but overall, I love her books. I'm a huge fan. So anyway, this book was no exception. It was absolutely so fantastic, so well done, so wholesome and whimsical, and so absolutely inventive. So anyway, all that to say, this book was absolutely so fantastic, and it was a great, solid sequel. So with that said, I would highly, highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Lawless Spaces. This book is a YA contemporary following a young girl who is determined to set out on her own path after learning about the journeys of her previous generations. And there's a trigger warning on this book for sexual assault, so please be careful if you are a survivor of such. So anyway, this story is absolutely so fantastic and it's so well done. First of all, the writing is so lyrical and absolutely so beautiful. The story felt so authentic and so well done. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. I loved the mother-daughter relationship at the core of the story because it felt so good and just so authentic and so well done. This book is absolutely so fantastic and it's so underrated, and it definitely deserves so much more hype. Like, it's so good in so many different elements. Like the plot, the family dynamics, the characters, the world building, like everything about it was literally so well done. So anyway, all that to say, this book is absolutely so incredible and it's so good. But again, please be careful because, again, like I said, there's a trigger warning on the story for sexual assault. So anyway, all that to say, I would highly, highly recommend this book. The next book on this list is called A Far Wilder Magic. This story is a YA fantasy following a dyslexic main character as well as a Jewish main character as they band together for a magical hunt. This story is absolutely so fantastic and it's so good. First of all, the world building was so magical, so immersive, so whimsical, so inventive, literally so fantastic. The plot was so intriguing and so engaging and so fast-paced. The two character perspectives worked so well together because literally the two main characters were both such distinct, intriguing main characters that were so well developed and so individual. You know what I mean? The romance was so cute and so well paced and absolutely so good because their connection and chemistry felt so authentic and so well done. Literally, this book is so magical and it's so immersive and it deserves all its hype and so much more because this author is literally so talented. The dyslexia representation as well as the Jewish representation was so good. This book is absolutely so amazing and it's so awesome. So anyway, all that to say, I would highly, highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called The Best Liars in Riverview. This story is a middle grade contemporary following a young, non-binary main character as they are on a journey of self-acceptance, discovery, and growing up as they look for their missing best friend. This story is absolutely so fantastic and it's so well done. First of all, the trans representation in the non-binary main character felt so authentic and so well done. Second of all, the plot was so fast-paced and so engaging and so intriguing. Third of all, the friendship at the core of it felt absolutely so good and so wholesome. Literally, this author does platonic dynamics like no other, and I'm absolutely so excited to read their next book next month. Literally, The House That Whispers is going to be so good because this book was absolutely so awesome and so well done. The plot, the friendships, the characters, the queer representation felt so authentic and so good. This book is so underrated and it deserves so much more hype. So with that, I would highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Only a Monster. This story is a YA urban fantasy that follows a young Asian main character who discovers that she's from a family of time-traveling monsters, and she must travel through time to save her family from somebody who's trying to kill them. I don't know if that made any sense at all, but this book is so good. It's absolutely so awesome and so unique and so well done. I typically don't enjoy urban fantasies, so I was pleasantly surprised when I found myself literally so captivated by this story. First of all, the world building was so well done and it was absolutely so immersive. Time traveling typically confuses me, but in this story it made so much sense, so we love to see it. Second of all, the characters were so well developed and so distinct. Like, I'm so excited to read the sequel, which I believe comes out next month if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, I think it comes out in the summertime or in the fall. But anyway, I'm so excited to read it because this book was so good. The world building was so awesome, like I said. The time traveling elements were incorporated so well. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. The love triangle even was intriguing, and I typically don't like love triangles. You know what I mean? Like, the romance was so well paced. The plot was so intriguing and so engaging. I'm so excited to read the sequel to this book because it was absolutely so awesome and so well done and unbelievably so well paced. So anyway, all that to say, I would highly recommend this book. The next book on this list is called Ellen Outside the Lines. For those who don't know, this book is a middle-grade contemporary following a young, sapphic, autistic, non-binary main character as they navigate changing friendships and new horizons during a school trip. This book is absolutely so good and it's so fantastic, and I feel like I talked about this book a lot this past year because it was absolutely so good, and after I talked about it in a recent reads video, I kept talking about it more and more in recommended reads videos. So if you've heard me talk about this book before, that's why. Anyway, for those of you who haven't heard me talk about this book and promote it and rave about it so much, literally this book is so good. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. The friendships felt so authentic and so wholesome. The autism representation was so good. The queer representation felt so wonderful and so lovely. Literally, it was so awesome. The plot is so intriguing and so engaging. I knew that I was going to love this book the moment that I started it because I've read previous books by this author and they are so talented, and I'm so excited to see what they'll write next. Literally, this book was so amazing and it was so well done. So anyway, all that to say, this book is absolutely so awesome, and that's the reason why I've promoted this book so many times in 2022 because it was absolutely so awesome and so good. So with that said, I would highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Small Town Pride. For those who don't know, this book is a middle-grade contemporary following a young gay boy who wants to throw a pride parade in his small conservative town. This book is absolutely so fantastic and it's so well done. My unpopular opinion is that this is my favorite book by this author. I know that they typically liked YA contemporaries in the past, and this is their middle-grade debut, but this is absolutely my favorite book by them by far. Literally, this book is so good. First of all, it just felt so emotionally touching and wholesome and well done. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. The romance was so cute, so lovely, so well paced. The friendships were so wholesome and so awesome. The family dynamics were so authentic and so well done. The plot was so intriguing and so engaging. This book deserves so much more hype because it's absolutely so fantastic and it's so good. It's so awesome and so well done. So anyway, all that to say is I would highly recommend this book. The last book on this list, and certainly not the least, is called So This Is Ever After. This story is a YA fantasy following a young Achillean main character who has to get married in order to keep the kingdom and stay alive. This story is absolutely so fantastic and it's so good. First of all, the world building was so magical and absolutely so inventive and so immersive. The plot was so intriguing and so engaging. This book is basically like a fantasy rom-com, if you like those. The romance was so cute, and it was absolutely so well-paced, and I really, really enjoyed it. The found family group dynamic was so good, and really made me fall in love more and more with this story, because the characters were so well done, and literally so well individually developed. Like, this book is so good, and it deserves all its hype and so much more. I think I talked about this book in my most anticipated 2023 new releases, when I was talking about Spellbound, because Spellbound is written by this author as well, and that's why I'm so excited for Spellbound, because this book was so good. I don't know if that made any sense at all, but basically, this book deserves all the hype and so much more. So with that said, I would highly, highly recommend it. So in conclusion, these are all the books that I consider my almost favorites of 2022, because I rated them all 4.5 stars, basically. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the ladybug emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!